Hi, I'm Monsignor Jamie, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bread. On today's show, we're in Harlem at the famous Rayo's restaurant. In a few minutes, we'll be going inside to meet Frankie Pellegrino, co-owner here, and the chef, Dino Gatto. And we'll let you in on a few secrets to why it's so difficult to get into this very famous restaurant. So don't go away. Hi, welcome back to Breaking Bread, and we're here in the kitchen of Rayo's with co-owner Frankie Pellegrino and the chef of this great place, Dino Gatto. Thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome, Monsignor.
So now you're going to let us in on some of your great recipes.
Yes, we are.
What are we preparing?
The first dish we're going to do a pasta dish with cabbage and sausage.
One of my favorites, I have to say.
Yes, it is. And then the other dish we do is going to be peas with prosciutto and onions.
Okay, now what are you going to prepare first?
The pasta dish.
Okay, what are we going to do?
We're going to have a pan, heat it up a little bit to start. We're going to add a quarter cup of oil.
Olive oil, of course.
Yes. Heat that up. And then we have some Italian sausage, some hot sausage, and some sweet sausage cut up into bite-sized pieces.
So when you're serving this, you know the red ones are hot.
Yes, the sausage we buy from a local butcher in Queens.
Not so local if they're in Queens, but...
Right over the bridge.
Okay. Originally from Harlem?
Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Now, Frankie, how often do you get your hand here in the kitchen?
Every night I'm in here and I talk to Dino, see what's going on, what we're doing, what specials we're doing, so on and so forth. If there's anything we need.
Okay.
And Dino is fabulous. He's fabulous, he's fast.
Now, Dino, how long have you been here?
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah. Doesn't feel that long.
The restaurant's been here about 100.
It's 120.
120 years. That's amazing.
And I'm here 43 years.
43 years. Wow. Now, before that, your family ran the business here?
Yeah. Absolutely. My aunt and uncle.
And this has always been in this spot
always
right here?
been right here. Same family for 120 years.
Wow. And now some of these recipes must go back to the original.
They do. Oh, some of these are over 100 years old.
Really?
I mean, this is what the Southern Italian immigrants brought to us.
Right.
And we're still cooking the same food that they brought to us.
Well, a lot of people say it's authentic Italian cooking.
Yes.
Yes.
Simple, it's nothing fancy.
Not at all.
And that's what makes it great. Okay, so what do you have
So
here?
we're going to brown it halfway. After we brown it, we're going to add some minced garlic to it.
Okay.
Brown that a little bit. And then we'll add the cabbage in,
Okay.
cut in bite-sized pieces.
That's fresh cabbage.
Yes, the white cabbage.
Now, if you wanted to, you could, ad-lib a little bit and add some other vegetable in there if you wanted, maybe mushroom.
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, we do it with cabbage and sauce. We also do it with sausage and mushrooms.
Okay.
Which will be the sausage, then you add the mushrooms into it. So when you start it, you can have your pasta already going, like we have in the pot here.
Right. Now, what type of pastas will you use here?
We use our fusilli.
We're going to use fusilli.
If you want something short, you want something long,
Right.
like
Right.
spaghetti or
fettuccine. Yeah, because the pieces are pretty big on here. 50 of the cabbage, and you saute for a while to get all the flavors from the sausage and the garlic. We're going to add 3 cups of marinara sauce.
Okay. I mean, once you put the garlic and olive
Right.
oil, marinara sauce, it has to be good. Now, how the people that come here, are they regulars that come
Yes.
here basically?
They're regulars.
We will get into that. But
Right.
what about when you have some newcomers? They come as guests.
They
What's
come
their
as guests.
impression? I mean,
Well, at first, they don't know what to think. Because they've heard so much about the place and they can't get in and so on and so forth. So I would imagine they conjure up all sorts of images as to
Right.
what this is and who we are and so on and so forth. And so when they first come in, they see, it's a very small place and like, what's this all about?
Right.
All of that kind of stuff. And the flavors in that are bursting. And when it sits there, right, I mean, they marry and it's just got so much taste.
I like that word you use, marry. They come together.
Yeah.
They all become one.
So let's sit like this 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. So they'll
Yeah.
simmer there, and
Yes.
then,
Right.
as you say, all the flavors will marry,
They'll
and
come
then
together.
we add the pasta.
Yes.
Well, that looks like a great dish.
We'll take half the sauce, we'll put it with the pasta, we'll mix it, put in the bowl, the rest we'll pour over the top.
Right on the top. Don't go away while this is simmering. Dino's going to prepare another dish for us. Welcome back to Breaking Bread, and I always wanted to cook at Rayo's, so Dino is going to let me prepare one of their dishes here, and we're preparing here peas and prosciutto and onions, right?
Yes.
So I have sauteed here some onions, garlic, and olive oil.
Right.
And what's next now?
Saute till it's on the brown side. And if we saute it and we get the onions translucent, we're going to add 2 cans of peas.
Okay.
A little pepper.
Okay. Then we have some prosciutto over there. Is that cut up?
Yeah, we'll finish that at the end.
Okay.
We'll just put pepper. The reason why we won't put salt because prosciutto is
Salty, right?
And the brine that the peas come in
Right.
is on the salty side.
Okay.
And once we get that sauteed a little bit, we'll add
Good.
a 1/4 cup of
Chicken stock?
chicken stock.
Oh, okay.
If you want to keep it on the vegetarian side, you can either use the brine that's
Right.
in the can, or you can use vegetable broth.
And it's a quick dish.
Yeah, we'll take a 1/2 cup of prosciutto,
Okay.
sprinkle it over the top. And we'll mix that in as well.
Smells good.
It's easy, it's simple, and that's
Okay.
it.
So we have our cabbage here. Now we just have to add the pasta to that,
Right.
right? The fusilli.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll do that right now.
Put this on the side.
Put that on the side there.
Okay. This seal over here.
Put that right there.
Throw these meatballs in the back. Okay.
Then we have the fusilli cooked.
Right.
What we'll do is we'll take,
Just pour that right in.
all right, we'll take half of it. Put it in half. Absorbs
All the sauce and the
all the
gravy.
sauce and the
Right.
flavor. And then in this way, each piece of pasta will be filled.
Right. So now, do you serve this individually, or is this a platter? Do they share the food?
The way we do things here,
family-
you'll
family
get
style?
people that order 1 pasta or 2 pastas. They just order 1 pasta. What we'll do is we'll dish it individual.
Okay.
If they get 2, we'll dish 1. We'll put the other one in a platter. So
Okay.
On
you
front
have
table.
your- Nice. So that's enough for one person.
if you're really hungry,
Here we have our fusilli. We'll put this on top.
sure.
There we go. Okay. Here we have fusilli with cabbage and sausage, and we'll be going into the dining room to taste this. Don't go away. We'll be sitting down with Frankie Pellegrino and talk about this wonderful restaurant. Welcome back to Breaking Bread, and this is the fun part. I'm here with Frankie Pellegrino, the co-owner here, and his assistant, Susan Pelosio. And I thank you for having us here. But this is the fun part, because now we're going to get to eat the food, but also to tell some stories about this famous place, Rayo's. So tell me, Frankie, I know you've been here for 120 years, but what makes this place so special? Why do people come back?
I think it's really kind of simple. It's good food,
Right?
it's good service, and it's warm, friendly atmosphere where we embrace people, we hug them, we kiss them. Whatever it takes to make you happy, we will do.
Well, I guess you're doing a good job. I mean, you're here for 120 years.
Yeah.
And you
so-
see all the people, all the famous people, stars, and
Yes.
everyone in the entertainment business,
Yeah.
the television business, everything. I mean, politicians, everyone comes here to Rayo's.
We run the entire.
Look here.
Oh,
here it
wow.
Oh boy.
This is one of the dishes I helped prepare.
Yes, and the peas.
You did
Wow.
a good job. too,
Dino,
let me
thank
tell
you.
Enjoy.
I'm sure you'll be here for another 20 years.
Yes.
Plus.
Oh yeah, easy, easy.
When you come to Rayo's, you don't leave.
He's
But thank
not
you.
leaving.
Well, I'm going to dish out some of this because I'm dying to taste this. But now, I know my father grew up in this neighborhood, and he was born in 1926, and he grew up on 110th and between 1st and 2nd, I believe. And he used to come here to Rayo's as a kid, and this restaurant has always been in the same location.
Always right here.
Now, today, a lot of the old timers all come back to this neighborhood. But unfortunately, the neighborhood people cannot just walk in here and have dinner.
Well, the neighborhood people left many, many years ago, and now a few of the old timers that are still left from when I started here 40 some odd years ago, they come back to visit. They come when they have the Giglio, the feast,
Right.
when they have the
Mount
Our Lady
Carmel.
of Mount Carmel feast, so on and so forth, they come back. Because believe it or not, this is probably the last remnant of East Harlem,
Right.
of what this neighborhood was, and who
Represented.
lived here and who, came here to dine and so on and so forth. So this is the last bit of East Harlem is this restaurant.
And it's amazing that that the church is right around the corner,
Yeah.
Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And I know my parents and grandparents, they would always go to Our Lady of Mount Carmel on the feast day. They would walk in the procession.
This
Right.
feast was
Right.
huge.
And then
People
when the
came from
neighborhood
all over.
changed, the Hispanics and Puerto Ricans came in, and the African American, and now a lot of Haitians come to
Big
this
Haitian
neighborhood for the
population.
feast day. They come back, and the church and Rayo's has been here. Really
Oh, yeah.
the
For it.
icon of this neighborhood.
There's tremendous respect for the restaurant in the neighborhood because we've been here. We've been here for 120 years. We're here longer than anybody else. And so they've grown up knowing this place is on the corner. And we've always, been good to people in the neighborhood. The kids that work for me, they're all from the neighborhood.
Sure.
So there's a tremendous amount of respect for the restaurant. I think they enjoy the panache, the fact that they see limousines pull up and movie stars get out and all of that. And they take a tremendous amount of pride in all of that. So, I'm happy to be a part of this neighborhood. I was born and raised here myself. And I think my parents, if they were alive, would be proud of the fact that
Of course.
I'm here
Right, right.
and still here and we're thriving and doing very well. God bless America.
Now let's get into the $64 million question. People have tables here.
Yes.
How did that all start? That you own a table? Did they buy the table?
Nobody buys
It was-
anything. I give you a table.
Right.
Okay.
And once you
There's no-
have it, that's your table.
And once, right.
But how did that start?
It started in 1977 when Mimi Sheridan gave the place 3 stars in the New York Times. We had already, for the 3-4 years prior to that, had developed a steady clientele.
Right.
And when we got those 3 stars in the Times, the phone started ringing off the hook. And I knew instinctively that, this could be a problem because it's going to shut out the people that have been here and been
Right.
coming here. And so in order to avoid that, we didn't answer the phone,
Right.
okay? And I started giving my steady customers tables. In other words, because I knew if it was a reservation basis only, they'd get shut out.
Right.
People would be booking the tables. Or if it was first come, first served, they'd get shut out.
Right.
So to protect the clientele that I had, I gave them tables.
And now the people, now that you have a table, let's say they die or they move away. What happens?
It comes back to
It
me.
comes back to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I can then accommodate
Right.
someone else who's been waiting for a long time, a good friend that's been coming for a long time but doesn't have a table, and then
Right.
perhaps I can, take care of that person
Right.
and so on and so forth, and just keep it going.
It's wonderful. I've been here a number of times as a guest of people that have tables, and it's wonderful to come here. I know I've been here many times with Sonny Grasso, and
Right.
I've been here with Bo Dietl, and and a lot of times they offer their table to charities.
Oh,
and I have to say,
absolutely.
I have benefited
Sure.
through.
Many
I
charities
run
have.
Futures in Education, and we have a dinner, and we auction off the tables. And people bid, and they know they're not paying for the table, they're paying for the charity, but they want the opportunity to come here.
Exactly.
And they have a wonderful experience, and you'd be surprised, how much people bid on the tables because they want to help the charity, but also they want to come here to Rayo's. And I think it's time, we're going to take a break, but we'll be right back. Don't go away. So welcome back to Breaking Bread. We're here at Rayo's and we're tasting some of their signature dishes here. I think, Frankie, you're going to pass me one of your famous meatballs.
Absolutely. Let me have your dish.
Great. Those look, oh my God, they're gigantic. So we have here cabbage
Beautiful,
and sausage and fusilli, the peas and onions and prosciutto, and this here is lemon chicken, right? I have a little
Lemon
piece
chicken.
here. That's one of your famous dishes here. It's,
Yes, it is. Thank you, Frank.
So Susan, what
Yes.
exactly do you do here?
Oh, I do a lot of things.
You kind of run everything behind the scenes.
Well,
Yeah.
Susan's our bookkeeper and my personal assistant, and she does a tremendous amount of work. I can no longer operate without her. Okay, and
You know what they say, Frankie, behind every good man is a good woman.
okay, absolutely.
Thank you.
But she just does a tremendous amount of work. She tells me, Frankie, you have to go here, you have to be there, you have to speak to this person, you have to talk to that person.
she's your PR person
And
also.
so she kind of screens everything for me and kind of keeps me where I know what I'm doing. Without her, I wouldn't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's
So-
important for a place like
Yeah.
it because you are a high-profile restaurant,
Of
and
course.
there's a lot of publicity, a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of stars and famous people.
I made a
and
lot of mistakes
news
along the
reports.
way, but I've gotten to a point where this is a passion, a labor of love. I come from this neighborhood, as Frank was saying, his parents do. My parents, born and raised, Mount Carmel was our church. So for me, it's coming back to my roots, and I love this place.
That's great.
The
That's great.
consistency of it is, I think, so important. Life changes so quickly every day, but when customers walk through that door, they know they're going to get the meatballs, the pasta, the chicken, and it's that consistency that just makes it wonderful.
It's great too when you come here, and I've been here a few times, and you come in to meet someone. If they're already here at the table, by the time you get to the table, you run into 3 or 4 other people that you know.
That's great.
Especially if you come in as a priest. With my colleague, hey,
Oh,
Father,
sure.
Father, Monsignor, what are you doing? They don't expect to see a priest here, but I know that Cardinal Dolan was here. I saw his picture up
Sure.
there on the wall.
He enjoyed his food here.
Maybe someday a Monsignor will be able to get on that wall too.
He told me, he said, if ever he becomes Pope, he says, we're going to put a Rayo's in Rome.
Well, that would be it. But speaking of Rayo's in Rome, I know I've been to the one out in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I
Caesars.
know you've been to
Hollywood.
You're in Hollywood.
My son is out there. My son runs both those restaurants.
Okay.
Thank God for my son, because, again, I wouldn't be able to do that without my son. He started working for me here when he was 12 years old. So my son has been in the restaurant business all
So
his
he knows
life.
the place inside
And he
out.
knows it inside
He
out.
does.
He knows the philosophy. He knows how to treat people. He's very dignified. He has tremendous respect for people and self-respect. And he's a fine, fine young man. I couldn't do it without him.
That's great. That's good. But what makes those places a little different than here, you can call up and make a reservation,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, you can still get in those.
You can still get in there.
those places.
So if you want to go to Rayo's, you have to take a plane.
Exactly.
And
That's
many
how
of
you
those
get in.
customers then want to come here.
Right.
So we have a transatlantic, a trans-world,
Oh, that's great.
trans-country.
I tell you, these meatballs are out of this world.
Delicious.
I mean, they're so
Thank you.
moist, and then you taste that garlic in there. It's unbelievable. Cheese. So tell me, you must have memorable nights. What was one of the most, I'm sure you have many, what was one of the most memorable evenings that was really enjoyable? Maybe there was someone here started singing or something.
Well, one that always comes to mind is when Sophia Loren came here.
Wow.
And she got to that corner there where everyone in the room was able to see her. The place went dead silent. Everybody was like, oh my God, Sophia Loren. She's tall and stately and elegant and she's gorgeous.
Wow.
And she sat at this table here, right here.
Susan,
And-
Sophia Loren.
Yeah, I
Right
wish.
in that seat.
I met her. She was lovely.
And I mean, it was simply spectacular. And I even had the unmitigated gall to sing to her. And I remember sitting there singing to her, and she's smiling at me. But I was singing "Pretend You Don't See Her." But the song that was going through my head was if my friends could see me now.
Wow.
Okay, and it was spectacular. President Clinton's here, and he goes around, he shakes hands with everybody. Jimmy Fallon comes, and he loves doo-wops. He loves to sing. So we put the jukebox on, and Jimmy gets up, and he starts singing Billy Joel, Sting,
Right.
Celine Dion, Gloria Estefan. I've had them all singing here. Eli Manning, Yogi Berra,
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
Wow.
And Michael
you know,
Amante used to sing
and-
opera
Sure.
here on Monday
On
nights.
Monday nights,
and
yes.
and the great thing is that you don't see this very often in many restaurants.
Yeah.
And so for the people that are here on the nights that those things happen, they'll never forget it.
Right.
No.
It's indelible. It stays with them, and they'll never forget the time they had at Rayo's
Right.
that evening, and who was here and how special it was. Billy Joel sang "Happy Birthday" to a guy who he did not know sitting at the next table, and the guy was like, "Wow, Billy Joel sang Happy Birthday to me." And he'll never forget that.
And I remember I was here one night when Michael Lamonte was here. I was
Right.
here, and he got up. And what was nice is that after he would sing, he would just sit down. Everyone didn't go and mob him. You know, it was
Oh,
like
no.
it was a natural thing. And you know, and even when there's not a
No.
famous singer or someone here, they put the jukebox on, and you play some music. Everyone starts singing.
Of
It's
course.
such a family atmosphere, a fun
Yeah,
place. and
it's
a
warm and
good
friendly
time.
and comfortable.
Right.
They get up, they start dancing, you know, and to have people be that comfortable and that happy all at the same time
Right.
is a great, you know, thrill for me. I'll sit at the bar sometimes and watch what's going on and saying, I don't even believe this.
Right,
I
right.
can't believe what a good
Yeah.
time these people are having. And that's when I go home happy,
That's
you know.
Well, you've been doing a good job, and I have to say, you know, we came here to, you know, to taste the food and to talk about Rayo's. But the one thing that, you know, I'm very happy that our viewers will see that you give back, and so many children benefit from you giving back to the community, and you know, the tables being given to people, and it's a great thing to do. And I thank you for that, and I hope our viewers realize that. I know it would be very difficult for you to come here to Rayo's, but if you can't come here, you can try some of these recipes, and I know that you have a couple of cookbooks here, Rayo's cookbook, and you have some of your recipes in there. And
Wait,
this
I gotta
one
get-
is,
Go ahead.
this is Rayo's on the grill, so you have a lot of grilling items in there. You could pick up these two books. And also they have a delicious Rayo's sauce you can purchase, and also your peppers and onions.
That's one of them.
And pinoli nuts, and in the local stores and supermarkets that
Absolutely.
carry them. So you can try all these dishes at home, or you can try some of these recipes at home. Maybe they won't come out as well, but they will.
No,
they
they'll
will come out good.
They're simple and they're good.
That's
Simple
great.
Southern Italian cooking.
That's great. But I want to thank you both
Oh,
for
thank you,
allowing us to
Monsignor.
come here, and I continue to wish you success, and I'm sure you know this will be here for another 120 years.
I want to thank you
Yeah,
for coming
of
here
course.
and allowing us
Thank you, Frankie.
to do this with you. It's an honor for us.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that. God bless you. God bless
Thank you,
you.
Monsignor. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Breaking Bread, and we'll see you next time. Thank you once again for joining us as we go into our neighborhoods to meet the members of our church family in Brooklyn and Queens, where they are, in their kitchens and around their tables. We hope we have taught you something today, not only about the dishes we have prepared, but also about the great people who make up our family of faith in our ethnically diverse city. The 3 F's of life are faith, family, and food. And there is no better way to experience them all than in our kitchens and around our dinner table at the end of each day. You just have to make the time to make it happen. This is Monsignor Jamie Gigantiello, reminding you that together we can continue to build the church by devoting ourselves to community, prayer, the teaching of the apostles, and the breaking of the bread. May God bless you always.